just trying to touch a milli, I'm an addy dropper. Cause on my mama we get busy. Another man down in my city. Brody Chopper got a red dot and some titties. I ain't with the drama. I'm just trying to touch a milli, I'm an addy dropper. Cause on my mama we get busy. Plug pull up with the pack and I ain't even busted down. Couple minutes on my phone, I promise I'm gonna get it gone. I stay solid, I get caught, I'm fighting till they sit me down. You get caught, you singing like a nigga in the studio. Brody sold the whip for 1,000 cause we just slid in it. I really make a house call, fuck if your kids in it. Been through some shit that's why my heart too froze. You ain't living what you rapping in the studio. You get your noodle blown, fucking with the opposition. My brother making decisions on anybody that's dissing. With the quickness, I'ma make a decision, I'm on a mission. You tripping, thinking we missing, I'm shooting up with precision. Red beam on the barrel to give myself some assistance. My brother come through like sniper, he knock you off from a distance. Big foe with no foe, I'm balling just like a piston. We get the... Damn, heard it's another man down in my city. Brody Chopper got a red dot and some titties. I ain't with the drama. I'm just trying to touch a milli, I'm an addy dropper. Cause on my mama we get busy. Another man down in my city. Brody Chopper got a red dot and some titties. I ain't with the drama. I'm just trying to touch a milli, I'm an addy dropper. Cause on my mama we get busy. Plug pull up with the pack and I ain't even busted down. Couple minutes on my phone, I promise I'm gonna get it gone. I stay solid, I get caught, I'm fighting till they sit me down. You get caught, you singing like a nigga in the studio. Brody sold the whip for 1,000 cause we just slid in it. I really make a house call, fuck if your kids in it. Been through some shit that's why my heart too froze. You ain't living what you rapping in the studio. You get your noodle blown, fucking with the opposition. My brother making decisions on anybody that's dissing. With the quickness, I'ma make a decision, I'm on a mission. You tripping, thinking we missing, I'm shooting up.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the El Nino Podcast. I'm Eladio Nino, and this is Real Everyday People. So, happy Monday to everybody, and happy Juneteenth to everybody. And for those who don't know what Juneteenth represents, it means, when slavery was abolished. It was emancipated in the year of 1865 back in Texas, and so this is a day that we celebrate. And, yesterday was happy Father's Day to everybody. It was a great Father's Day. My wife, my family, they took me out to Ann Arbor, took me kayaking. I loved it. It was so peaceful, very invigorating, and I was grateful for it. I had a great time, and I hope everybody else was able to get time with their family, man, because at the end of the day, we celebrate these things with purpose. I know sometimes people look at it like, economic boost and this, that, and the other, whatever it may be, but at the end of the day, it serves its purpose, where we're being acknowledged for the work that we put in, not only doing our God-given duties that we're supposed to do, but sometimes, man, some do a little bit more, and sometimes it's just a thankless job. So it's nice to be acknowledged and recognized and be able to celebrate with those that you love, because I understand that life gets hectic. You work a job, 2 jobs, you got a side hustle, you're doing this, that, and the other, and sometimes you just lose track of time and don't even get to be with your family like you want to. So today we have a dope guest. She's been here before. She was here last year, but she's always got something positive going on. And I admire her so much for her, for her energy, her creativity, and just all the barriers that she's been able to break down and all the bridges that she's been able to make. We got, again, Serenity Atkinson. How you doing, Serenity?
Good. How are you tonight?
I'm good. Welcome back to the El Nino Podcast. You here for round 2? Yes,
it's amazing to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad you like it, man. I had to give the new place, a facelift real quick. You know what I'm saying? And new year, new start. And that's how I like. I like to live my life where this year was better than last year.
Mm-hmm. Keep on climbing.
Yep, no doubt about it. So let's talk about you. You've been had a whole bunch of stuff going on just since the last time you've been on here. Every time I look on Facebook, I look on Instagram, no matter where I look, you see Serenity Atkinson, and you are busy. You are here. You are there. You are in different cities, different states, doing different categories and themes of modeling and all kinds of stuff. And at your age, I feel like, man, the future is bright for you, and you got so much room to grow.
Yes, it's honestly such a blessing to be able to give all these opportunities to families in need, and including being able to travel to different states. That is honestly amazing, because I've never thought I'd be able to be here in this moment, and I'm so happy to be here with you.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So recently you just mentioned that last year for Juneteenth that you did a modeling gig, right?
Yes, well, for Juneteenth, I walked in it was the Juneteenth fashion show in Hart Plaza.
Okay.
It was an amazing experience. We brought food for all the models, and I got to see some people I've known for like my whole life, some new friends, and it was such a great opportunity.
That's really dope. How do you get plugged in to be able to be a part of that?
Well, the Detroit community for fashion and modeling, it's honestly such a close, tight-knit community. Once you know one person, they'll show you into like a whole new world, something you'd never imagine.
No, that's really dope. And I could imagine that it's just really like anything, you know, where you birds of a feather flock together.
Yep.
You know, and you catch up with your crowd, and everybody that's like-minded, everybody got the same goals, and then you guys build a network community. And now the resources, you know what I'm saying, present themselves, opportunities present themselves, and you know, you guys are definitely taking care of your business.
Yes, for sure. Being able to work with the Detroit communities, including working with them philanthropy-wise and bringing that into modeling, is something I didn't even know that could work, but it does. And now with the modeling, we're providing modeling for children and for grown-ups, for anybody. And we're able to give cosplay events, which at first I didn't know if it would work, but then I saw all the beautiful costumes that people brought. We had like Harley Quinns, and it was beautiful, and it's such an honor.
So explain cosplay. Like, what exactly is cosplay?
Well, cosplay is dressing up as a character from like a movie, TV show, something like that.
Okay.
And we bring that into modeling, as we would get professional photographers to take pictures of the models that would dress up in like whatever they want. Some people even cosplay as just princesses, or we did mermaids. And it was just...
you did that recently. You did some mermaid work, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I seen that.
It was so adorable, the little mermaids that we had, all the baby girls.
Oh, that's so cool.
Uh-huh.
Yep. No, that's dope. So not long ago, I had seen a photo shoot that your mother had posted, and you guys looked like a bunch of like dead dolls, you know what I'm saying, like in a bathtub, and then like it was just like different scenes, and I was like, damn, that looks really sweet, like because you really have to really nail the posture and the look of death, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, they look like a bunch of Annabelle dolls over there, you know? So like what was the theme about that? Like what was the idea of that, and how hard was it for you, or easy was it for you to fit into that role?
Well, that was an event called ClickCon, which is hosted in Chicago, and it's an event that brings photographers and models from all over America together. And it was a really great opportunity, but they had different stations where the models would get their makeup and get their hair done, get the whole new outfits. So then we could go into the scenes and would be the dead dolls. It was very easy to get into the thing, like, okay, I'm dead, like just like throw my arm. But then you had to like get the look in your face, and that was the hard part, like like with your eyes open, or if you want to go closed, and even deciding how you're gonna look if you can't see, because like half of the time I was in a box.
Yeah.
So that was kind of hard too. It was a very heavy lid, but we made it work.
No, that's really dope. And to be able to transition and make them transitions, and to be able to make the facial expressions that they're looking for. Like the people who do the photography or the videos, like, are they very demanding? Are they harsh? Are they easy to work with? Are you easy to work with? You know what I mean? Like, how does that go? Because I'm sure sometimes it can be frustrating, and so like how does it go? How does that process work out for you?
Well, with the photographers, I don't find them to be very demanding, but I've learned a few tricks that like help the process along the way, so I figure that helps. It was every time I'd hear the camera click, I would change into a new position unless they told me to hold it. And that has gotten the photography sessions go much quicker and give me so many more photos with different ranges. And that makes a photographer's life easier, you know?
Yeah. So, and I noticed that in that photo shoot, you actually shot pictures with other models as well. So how is it like? I've seen you do solo photo shoots and you kill it every time, but is it easier or harder, you know what I'm saying, for you to be able to take photo shoots with other people?
I find, well, for that particular photo shoot, the model, Christia, she was honestly such a delight to work with. We even met up the next time I went to Chicago because like we had such a great time together. Made a great friend there. And she was great to work with because she helped me. She said that she was a dead doll before, so she already had some experience in that department. So she taught me like, throw your arm here, close the lid halfway. So she gave me some direction, and that honestly helped me as a model, and I was very grateful for that. And in some of the ones in Detroit that I've done, like multiple model photo shoots, I find them like very engaging. I really like them. It's very like strenuous, very physically strenuous, because you got to make sure you're in line with the other models, but you're also in line like with yourself. So, but it's very fun. It's not like, I don't know how to describe it. It's fun, but it's tiring.
No, yeah. Oh, I bet because I mean it takes a lot of focus, a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of creativity, and then going through the natural transitions of just trying to nail it every time. You almost want to be, you almost become a perfectionist.
Yeah.
Because that's sometimes what they want. What they need you to do is be able to fulfill and play that role.
Especially with group shoots, if one model is going to pose one way, then the next models have to follow in suit, especially in group photos, which is honestly really great because then you get to see the different types of interpretations that the models next to you guys are going to get. So if like someone's like, I want to do like this type of pose, and then someone will be like, I want to do this, and it's different, but I like the way that they work together.
No, that's really dope. That's cool. So what do you think is like the hardest? Is it like where you're at your age now, or like younger kids? Because I know you talked about how you guys are teaching modeling right now to younger. Is it boys and girls or just?
It is boys and girls. All are welcome, all ages. But I think the hardest one to like learn modeling would actually be the grown-ups.
Are you serious? Wow, that's crazy.
And that's because confidence in children, it comes naturally to them. They don't see like the world as they're out to get them. But when it comes to grown-ups, it's like harder for them to get over like the barriers of like feeling confident enough to walk down the runway, feeling confident enough to wear different outfits, something that would be out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
And I feel like those are the hardest to be able to break through their shell. But once you do, you find amazing models, like honestly astounding.
How is it for kids? Is it easy for them to follow directions, or does that get difficult too? Because you'd be like, okay, so walk down there and do your little pose and come on back. And, kids just live in a world of their own. I love seeing children, like just walking in their own intention and their own purpose, because they live freely. They laugh freely. They run, they play. And but I can't imagine like having a child and try to direct them to do something, because sometimes they like, I ain't trying to hear all that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it depends on who's telling them, because sometimes if I'm not in like I wear dresses a lot to my events and like sometimes crowns. So if I'm not fully like with all my dress and stuff, they won't really listen to me. But once I get into like all the gear and like look like a princess, then they're gonna be like, okay, I got it. I can do whatever you need.
Oh, wow, that's really dope. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's good. So you had a Sweet 16 birthday party that I had hosted at, and I appreciate the invite. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. I thought it was so dope the way you guys put it together. Like, it was a birthday party, but it was like an event. I mean, you had vendors. You had the Beauty and the Beast theme going. You had the whole Rip the Runway modeling show. I was like, man, like that was really dope. The DJ was dope. Like, I was definitely proud and happy to be a part of that.
Yeah, you were my grandma's favorite, to be honest, of the night. She could not stop talking about you. But I did host an event for my Sweet 16, and it was to benefit domestic violence survivors. We were able to provide 8 families with full gifts and a full Christmas, which I am so happy to be able to say that we were able to do that.
Yeah, that is a blessing.
And then we were able to bring kids to be able to model, grown-ups from all around Michigan, and it was honestly such a delight. We got to meet so many vendors, so many people, and having everybody come together on my birthday like that, It was amazing.
No, it was so much fun because also the diversity in modeling, and then you had multiple clothes designers, and and it was like you had people of all sizes, short, tall, skinny, chunky, but everybody was just embracing whatever they were, whatever they had on, whatever they were doing, like they was killing it. And it was just nice to see people have that type of liberation in their heart, that type of freedom to just be that confident and be able to just put on a show and kill it, males, females, what I'm saying, the kids. I mean, just everybody who was there, man, did a great job. And I know it takes a lot of work to put something like that together, especially with the vendors. And then you had the Beauty and the Beast. You had the Beast pull up, I thought that was really dope.
Yeah, that was a great friend of mine, Tony. He has his own brand, Black Fox. That night I was actually able to debut my own line for children's dresses, and I got to do some of the little girls that they're like my little angels. I've known them since they were little, and then I known some like maybe for a year, but I love them so much. And I was able to make them dresses like by myself, handmade dresses, and it was an honor to be able to show them along with all the other lines.
So you make your own dresses too?
Yeah.
That's like a whole nother thing, man. That is really dope. Who taught you how to do that?
Well, I've had a sewing machine since I was like 5, and no one really ever taught me. I just kind of just got used to doing it. It's kind of like how I did cooking. I just was like doing it all the time since I could remember.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually I got good at it. And so I was able to make little kid dresses, but I also make some dresses for me and some of the outfits that I have taken photo shoots in.
Oh, man, that's really cool.
The mermaid tail was made by me.
Oh, for real?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's really dope. That's dope. I love it. I love because you are just like executing every part of your talent. You know what I'm saying? Of your the everything, the whole modeling thing. I'm from designing to modeling. I mean, it's even partially acting too, because you have to play roles, and then not only that, but advocating for yourself, promoting yourself, having these events, making all these connections, and you're only like 16 years old. Like, that's really dope. And then you have your own nonprofit organization, Serenity's Helping Hands. And I see all the things because your mama posts everything every day, all the time. You know what I'm saying? So she's your number one biggest fan. So, big shout out to moms, you know what I mean, for holding you down, rocking with you, But Serenity's Helping Hands, I've seen so much work that you've done. Like, how did you get there? And I mean, there's a long list of, I've already been to Pistons games and Tigers games because of you. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. But I see you get like pet food donated. All kinds of you got the Detroit Princess, like you got all these people who are just gravitating towards you and giving you all these opportunities to be able to enjoy and share with people in the community. Like, how did you reach that point? And let's talk about Serenity's Helping Hands.
Well, Serenity's Helping Hands, as you said, is a nonprofit, and we've reached that point. It started with cold calling companies and organizations and asking, can we get some tickets? Can we get some low-income families or some people into this building so we could give them experiences they normally wouldn't have? And through that, with the community that started backing us while we were giving like the tickets, the dog food, animal food, all of it, they were giving us photos of happy kids, people enjoying their time, and what more do people want to see than children being happy?
Mm-hmm, definitely.
And that's definitely helped the organization a lot, being able to have evidence of all these children, all these families coming in and enjoying their times, and it's amazing.
Mm-hmm. No, that's really dope. How do you get tied into like the Detroit Tigers and the Pistons? And every time I look on Facebook, like you guys are like, hey, who wants some tickets? Enjoy this, enjoy that. Who needs this? Who needs that? And I'm like, man, that's really so honorable, for you to be at your age and to be able to do these things and just to even have that mindset, because in this world today, there's more takers than there are givers, you know what I mean? And, to be at your age, it's really nice to see. and to see the direction in your organization. And I just feel like there's just so much more room for growth and so many big things. And, people are going to want to invest in you. Absolutely.
Well, that's what we're hoping for. I'm trying every day to be able to get more companies and organizations to share their experiences with communities, not just here in Detroit, but we've been traveling to other states such as Orlando and New York. We have a trip scheduled for Chicago later in the summer, and we're going to be able to bring American Girl to low-income families there. And it was honestly very hard to be able to bring it here, to rise up here. But once you got like the stepping stone, there's no limit to where you could reach.
What is American Girl?
American Girl it's American Girl dolls. It's a brand of dolls. I had one when I was a little girl. So did my sister. So did all the girls I knew. And they're a little expensive, I will say. Very expensive. But they're so lovely, and so are all the staff that work there. And they've been so amazing to offer us to bring in children so I could promote literacy to them by reading. And then we provide books as well as little treats, and also American Girl doll, the brand. They provide gift bags for the girls, and they've been so happy when I seen them.
Oh, that's great.
When we were in Orlando, there were like 8 of the girls were 6 years old, maybe lower, and they were all little, wide-eyed, like little baby puppies. And I was, they were like sitting like, I'm ready.
Oh, that's so pretty.
It was adorable.
Yeah, that's really dope. Oh, that's cute. And I mean, they're looking up to you. You know what I'm saying? They're admired and inspired by you. And that's really dope. That's good. So let me see. We did a photo shoot recently too that you had invited me to, and I was really grateful for that opportunity. We did that at Hart Plaza. That was really dope, and you even had a special guest. You had Trick in there, and we did a whole photo shoot, and I was like so grateful for that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a blessing. So thank you for including me in that.
I mean, it was a blessing for me to be able to too. I was astounded when he said that he would meet with us to have a photo shoot, and especially because I used to watch 8 Mile all the time. I used to love Eminem. I was like, when I was a little kid, we only had a few movies to watch on the VHS and on the CD player, and 8 Mile was one of those, along with Forrest Gump and Miss Congeniality. So you kind of see where it went. And it was great to be able to like work with him after like spending my life being like, he's so cool, they're so cool, and then be near them. It's like, wow, how am I here?
Yeah, I know, for real. And it was dope that we were able to take the pictures in front of the fountain in Hart Plaza, in front of the Fist over there on Jefferson. Like, and I mean, you be killing it though. Like, I swear you would think that you've been doing this since like for years. And so when I watched, you model and they were doing like the photo shoot with you, I was like, man, she looked like Tyra Banks taught her some stuff or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, just very natural. Like, how, to place your hands, your chin, your, the eye contact, just everything. And I was like, man, she really grew into her position, man. And then you got people working with you like Trick. Like, for us, I mean, coming from Detroit, that's a big deal, And then I recently had the privilege of meeting his brother Diesel. Diesel, shout out to Diesel, Dominic Ovando, Sonny Ovando. Them guys, they're DeJuan Ford. They're into the movie making business, they're actors, writers, directors, co-writers, all that type of stuff. And I think you should, shoot a shot. You might be in one of the next movies that they have. They've invited me to several movie premieres that they had. But it came to find out that Trick and Diesel were brothers, and I was like, damn, that's really cool, small world. And then I had the privilege of being able to be with both of them, doing a photo shoot with one, and a week later I'm, doing a movie premiere with the other, So, it's really cool, and I'm just glad that, we're able to build these bridges and make these connections, because I think that that's what gives us a better chance of being successful at what we do.
Yeah, I really have to thank the photographers for being able to make that experience happen. Shout out to the photographers. You guys are always helping. And they were the ones that were able to help us build like these relationships with everybody. Trick was like, we want to have a good photo shoot. Let's do it. And I'm like, you know what? I know these people. I know who would be great for it. I'm like, you, Riley, all my photographers that came out that day. I remember we had a drone going. That was so fun. And yeah, shout out to all of them.
It's actually fun for the photographers because they was like literally having fun taking pictures of you. Like they were just adjusting, readjusting, moving. Like I was like, damn, like they look very professional, but you can tell that they were enjoying themselves. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about the, photography world, but, it just seemed like everything was very fluid. You've got a relationship with your photographers, you know what I'm saying? They know their job, you know your job, but it just seemed like it was very in sync, you know what I mean? And they were catching angles, they were, giving you directions, and you just was executing it. And I was like, damn, that's really dope, to be able to reach that point.
Having a good relationship with your photographers definitely helps the set move so much more fluidly, as you said. It makes it so then you know what's going to happen, and you're like more comfortable to do more like transitions, to switch to more poses, and they feel more comfortable coaching you as well, because then they'll tell you like, I want this type of pose looking like this, and they get like the exact photo they want. But then you could also get the photo you want when you get like the regular poses as you're going in.
So out of all the cities that you've been to so far, like what's been one of your favorites?
Definitely New York. Okay.
Why New York?
I love Detroit. Okay, I'm a Detroit girl. But everything, compared to New York, everything's far away. In New York, you could go from one place, just travel all the way to the other side of like the island. It's not an island, but whatever. You travel to the other side of New York City in 5 minutes on the trains or whatever, the subways. And here it's a lot harder. You gotta wait for buses that come every hour, every 30 minutes, when those come every 5 minutes. There you go, one. And then everything's closer to you, including food. And also it has Broadway, so there's no way to top that. Sorry. But yeah, definitely New York.
So let's talk about Broadway. You've been there?
Yes, I have.
Okay. What were you doing there?
While I was there, I was doing New York Fashion Week, and I think, what was I doing during that time? I had an audition, I think, for New York Fashion Week. Not completely sure, but I remember would go up and down Broadway. I was going to see Hamilton. Did not get the chance.
Oh,
I know.
That's terrible.
They are $150 a ticket, and I had $150, but I didn't have $150 for my mom.
So it was either one or the other. You was gonna have to paper, rock, scissors for that, or you already had your mind made up.
She didn't even want to go, but I knew I couldn't leave her outside because that was just evil. Not to say, okay, I did that one time. She had a hotel room when we're in Chicago, but me and my brother had enough to go in, but we did not have enough for her ticket. So she ended up sitting in the hotel room. But she got to see one of the cast members when they came out, because we went home. We went to the hotel like right after it ended because we didn't want her to be worried. But she got to meet one of the cast members even if she didn't see it. So I guess that's a win-win.
Okay, that's really dope. Yeah, that's cool. So you're supposed to be doing something with the Broadway soon or something? Like you're supposed to be in a play? Would you mention something about Annie and something else? What was the other thing you mentioned?
Miracle on 31st.
Was it that? Yeah, okay. All right.
Well, I've been partnering with the Ambassador Theater Group, which presents Broadway in Detroit as well as Broadway on Tour. And we've worked with them as well as Broadway in New York. There's a Camp Broadway, which trains young actors. And they're going to be putting us in plays, and I'm very excited for that. And that's coming up the 8th through the 15th. So
you're already pursuing an acting career. So now you design clothes, you model, and now you ready to go get trained to do some acting.
Yes, acting and singing, and it seems
Singing?
like and it's kind
Killing
of
it.
dancing. It's like a whole
You're a
production.
whole one-man band. That's what you are.
I mean, you got to make it work, right?
Yeah, definitely. And it's important to be able to be multi-talented, and everything that you learn. Like, it's important to learn almost every aspect of your business, like I knew a guy, he once told me, he was like the owner of a restaurant. But he said, I started out working in restaurants. I started out washing dishes, and then I started hosting, then I started serving, and then I started cooking, and then and he said little by little I just learned everybody's job until I knew how to do everybody's job in there. And now he runs his business efficiently, and he knows exactly what needs to be done from the front to the back. And with you, it's like you're constantly investing in yourself, and you're only 16, and you already know how to do all these things. So I mean, within the next 5 to 10 years, like, you're already gonna like be there. It's like it's gonna all come to you. You're not gonna have to work as hard. I think it's gonna be you're gonna be in demand, in high demand. You know what I mean, when it comes to looking for creative people who who can kill any genre of modeling and all that type of stuff, because I've seen you do like different are they called genres or just different categories, or what is it called when it comes to like photo shooting and modeling?
Genre? I would say like, Ma, what do you say, category or genre? Kind of the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, so what is one of your favorite kind of modeling to do, like, or photo shoots?
It's definitely going to be high fashion and ball gown photo shoots. I love them. I love them so much.
Okay.
I love the big poopy dresses. I love being a princess. Fun to sing.
Okay.
And high fashion runway, because high fashion runway is very fun, though it is like 5 seconds that you prepare 2 hours for.
yeah, I bet. Yeah. Yep. So, and then you what, like, on a strict timing of when you get there and when you do a twirl, or how you do all that and then make it back?
Yeah. So sometimes they will even require you to come in like 8 in the morning when your set goes on at 3, or they'll have you come in like 9 o'clock and your thing goes out at 5. So it's like a whole day's process into getting ready and preparing for it. But once you're on that stage, you get your 5 minutes in. Well, it feels like 5 minutes, even though it's 5 seconds. But it feels really long once you're up there, but it feels short once you get off.
I know, and you're like, man, I spent all this time preparing for these 7 seconds of fame,
Yeah.
But it's good. I mean, you kill it, you feel good, you get out there, and then, engaging with the crowd, making the eye contacts, the twirls, the smile, the body language, the facial expression. Like, you really have to engage with the crowd,
They are definitely a huge part of it, especially when you walk out and the whole crowd is cooperating and everyone's like doing their clapping as like, because it's kind of respectful to clap for everybody as they come out. Just saying. But when everyone's cheerful and wants to keep the energy going in the room, it makes it a lot better when you're walking down, because when you have good energy around you, it makes you feel a lot better.
Yeah, I know I took you on a tour recently of the DHDC because I really wanted you to tap in, with the youth department, because I think that you would be a good leader. I think that you could really inspire and motivate some of the young girls there, to get comfortable in their own bodies and, just learn how to, just the art and craft of beauty and modeling and things like that. And then we have that big green screen room, and I was just hoping that maybe you'd be able to utilize that space one of these days, maybe for a photo shoot or something, because, I see you got a lot of photographers who, they follow you, they support you and all that good stuff. So I'm like, any opportunity that I have to be able to, create a space for you to get creative and do your work. I definitely want to be able to do that for you. But there's always throughout the city all kinds of modeling engagements. And, Southwest, like, we've really been doing our things in the last recent years and like touching on all bases. But I think that modeling, anything to do with modeling in the neighborhood, I definitely would love for you to partake in it. You know what I'm saying? Because you do such a good job, and I think that your presence and your skills, you know what I'm saying, like speak for themselves. And then you just started this. It's not even like you went to modeling school or nothing. It was like you just fell into it and then just got good real quick.
I've had some amazing coaches throughout like my career, and each person, each photographer counts as a coach. Each model that I come in contact with, they count as a coach, because every time I'm learning something from them. I'm learning from their years of experience. I'm learning from how they do it, and I'm even learning from online. And I feel like it helps a lot to be able to watch and learn from these people.
So far, what's been like the hardest genre of modeling for you?
I think the hardest would probably be... Oh my God, it's so fun. I don't know what's really hard about it. It's like I don't really have like too much hard stuff about it.
Okay, like that's good. That's great. It's great when you love and enjoy what you do.
I know. Photo walks. No photo walks. They're so hard, and I'm always wearing heels. Mm-hmm. And one time I did a photo walk, and it was a mile. There and back.
Get out of here. What is a photo walk?
A photo walk is when a group of photographers and models go and walk around the city or walk around a certain area. Mm-hmm. And I did this in downtown Chicago. I did 2 miles in downtown Chicago in heels.
Oh my goodness.
It was so bad. And I went in another one, and my feet, every time after photo walks, I can't walk for 3 days straight. And it makes it so hard because I get the worst blisters.
Oh man, I bet.
Photo walks, that's the hardest part. Sometimes if I hear it's a photo walk, I'm like, I'm sick.
Yeah, I bet. And then walking in heels all that way. So where were you at in Chicago when you shot it? Were you like downtown, or were you just in a certain community?
We were downtown Chicago, so it was like a lot of like industrial area and stuff. Mm-hmm. And it was just so hard. I had it was ClickCon, that event. I remember that was my first photo walk. I didn't know what a photo walk is, and my mother didn't know what a photo walk is. And so that meant that she went to go to the room. She thought she could come back in afterwards, but we were all gone. So I was by myself I was walking around by myself in Chicago with 5-inch heels for an hour and a half.
Oh no.
It was so bad.
So what do you do with all the photos that you shoot? Like, do you do portfolios? Do you make videos, or what is it that you do? Are these is this content that you record and then submit to different people and places, or how does that go?
Well, it's kind of all of the above. We'll take content to put on our social media pages, but we'll also put it to different magazines. We'll give it to different corporations of photos of families of us with everyone's consent. We get everyone's consent. Mm-hmm. But with them, we'll send them to promote Serenity's Helping Hands. We'll do it to promote our online pages. We'll send them to different magazines to promote modeling. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's all of the above. We use it for everything.
And you stay so busy. How do you find time to do everything? I mean, you got to think. You got to do hair. You got to be makeup. Do you get to choose your own clothes, or do they pick the clothes for you for the whatever theme they're shooting for, or how does that go?
Well, it depends on what type of thing it is. If it's a fashion show, most of the time I'll have clothes provided. In some types of photo shoots, like I did one in Orlando where the clothes were provided. Most of the time, if the clothes are provided, I get to keep them, which is very great plus. Okay, that's cool. I was going to ask you that. Yeah, but sometimes I get to make my own outfits, such as the mermaid shoot. I did I think it was a 60s shoot, a vintage 60s car shoot, and I got to make my own poodle skirt and dress two-piece. So being able to control my outfits is fun at certain points. Because sometimes if I have to pick like a whole outfit for like a whole week's worth of photo shoots, it gets kind of hard.
Oh yeah, I bet.
So some at a time makes it easy. Multiple at a time makes it hard to control.
Yeah. How much modeling opportunity is here in Detroit, do you think? Like, do you think like you may have to travel and go somewhere else to be able to grow?
Kinda, yes. I do believe that traveling to different cities and states will help enhance the career, because in Detroit you'll meet a lot of the people, but it's still a small city for modeling, as there are not many jobs up here other than like fashion shows or like the fashion shows we host. Mm-hmm. And most of them are ours. And there's not really any like commercial modeling jobs, which makes it harder to do here. But if you go to New York, your career will be instantly bolstered, as there's so many opportunities down there.
I think you would kill it in New York.
Chicago's got a great modeling area too as well.
Yeah, but you have a very very authentic look about yourself. You know, even foreign, you know what I'm saying? You look like you Maltese, Italian. You got all like you belong in a magazine of Paris or something like that, you know? And I think that in New York, and they have so much diversity out there, I feel like you represent New York great, you know what I mean? And I think that going out there, you'll be able to find a place where you can build, because, I mean, like myself and like anybody, you know, what is success? You know, is it the fame? Is it the views? Is it the money? You know, the purpose, of course, you know, is there, and you know, enjoying it is the other part of it, and what you contribute from it, and who you teach out of it. But like ultimately, you need money. You need money to travel. You need money to live. You need money for clothes. And so it's like, now you got to fundraise. You got to find sponsorship. How easy or hard has that been for you?
Well, I happen to have an amazing team on my side. There's a woman named Lori. I love her so much. She's a great donor, as she's provided a lot of my trips for me. And she's like an aunt at this point. I've known her since before I started modeling and doing all this. Back when I used to paint houses. Okay. It would be me and my mom, and we went to go paint her huge house. It was beautiful, and she was getting ready to sell it. And since then, she's like, you have to take these opportunities. If money's the thing that's going to hold you back, I can help you, because these are opportunities that are never going to come again. Mm-hmm. These are things that could help change your life. And looking through her perspective has honestly changed my life, as now I see these are things that are never going to happen again, and I might as well capture the moment. And having her as a donor, it helps so much, and it makes it so then the stress of asking for donations from other people is not as much, and it makes it a lot easier, honestly, to have her.
Yeah, because, you know, sometimes, you know, people give out of the kindness of their heart, and then there's those who, you know, give with strings attached. You know, and it's like, you know, being mindful of, you know, who you accept your sponsorships and your donations from. But, you know, overall, I think anybody in that realm of things, you know, are just to have the best interests of that person and to be able to help them grow. But, yeah, it's definitely necessity to be able to have that type of financial support, you know, because people do miss out on great opportunities because of lack of finances. And, you know, and that's unfortunate, because it's that one time that you can get an interview or have an opportunity to show your skills and your talent that could actually help you level up, you know. And what's great, too, is that person, I'm sure they see what everybody else sees in you, is the talent that you possess, you know. And you're such a quick learner, and, you know how to articulate yourself. You're very intelligent. Like, yeah, you're a future businesswoman. You are definitely a success in the making, you know. So, you know, you keep up the good work and keep doing whatever you're doing and staying focused. I don't know, like, I mean, everybody naturally has bad days, and I'm sure there's times where you had to get up and go perform, but not really feeling like it. Like, what mental space do you have to take yourself to be able to perform and execute, even though you don't feel like it?
Well, when I'm going up for photo shoots, if I'm not at my A game, I'll tell my mother. I'm like, I know I can't do the shoot right now, so I need someone to help me, to hype me up. And she's like the most amazing hype woman. She'll tell me like, you can do this. I believe in you. You've done so many before. You could do this again. And having her helps me get into the right headspace. It's like being able to know that you could do it from someone else helps you do it yourself. Like the encouragement, words of encouragement always help.
So, who are some of the people that you look up to, like, and model wise? Like, who have you met or would like to meet in the model world?
Well, I've met Katrina Shackelford. She's a model, and I look up to her so much. She's one of my favorite people in the world. She's taught me all I know as a model. And who I would like to meet would be Naomi Shalom Harlow and who was I think Naomi Shalom and those two. There's one more and I forgot which one, but it's okay.
Where have you met them at?
I want to meet them.
Oh,
that's
you
like
want
who
them,
that's who
so
I
these-
want to meet
okay.
them. I've studied Shalom Harlow and Naomi Campbell's walk over and over 1,000 times to learn my walk. It's watching
Wow.
the greats help you learn and refine yours.
I'll tell you what, I don't think you far from it, man. I mean, I'm not like no big top model person or anything, but I know what looks professional and what doesn't, And when I see you, I'm like, man, she's cultivated, you know what I'm saying? And I don't think it's far for you. I think opportunity is going to come for you sooner than later. Yep. And you got a trip coming soon back to New York, right? Or
Yes.
where do you go? Chicago? I don't know. Your mom
New
named so
York
many
and
states that you was
Chicago.
headed to and photo shoots and all kinds of stuff. I was like, damn, you've been all around the world and
Can't wait to go out of this country. Once I go to Paris, I'll fully live my life. That's all I need. All I want to do is go to Paris, and if I could model in Paris,
Oh, wow.
perfect.
Yeah, make it happen.
I'm
Yeah.
planning on studying in Paris if that's possible. I know that U of M does exchange student for 2 months, 2 semesters, that I could go study at the Sorbonne if I'm smart enough, and I'm working on it.
No, that's dope. Hey, you got to get it. You got to grind. You got to put in the work. And, anybody watching this show that's interested in sponsoring or donating to Serenity's Helping Hands, please do so. She does a lot of good work, not only for herself, but, for her family, for her community. And, she deserves every great opportunity that's there for her. So if you guys want to donate, reach out to her. Let them know where they can donate.
Well, you could go to Facebook under Veronica Gajardo. You'll find a lot of the links for our payment acceptance things for donations. You could also find us on Instagram at Serenity_Atkinson. And from both areas, you should be able to find some links.
Okay, that's really dope. I'll tell you what, them links are helpful. The DHDC, they've contributed so much to my growth in this, in podcasting and everything, my own personal business, because, I've got my El Nino network as a LLC, but I never really knew how to utilize it. So I'm learning all that now, and they've been really teaching me, how to, build websites and, getting plugged into Linktree and just being able to catch up into the modern day of networking. And so I love being able to get caught up with things because, it just took me a minute to catch on to how everybody's, in motion today and how everybody's promoting and networking, with each other. I think you should definitely work on maybe getting some business cards made. Also maybe getting a logo created for you so that, whenever you're a part of an event, they can put your logo on there. And whenever you're at an event, you can pass out, your business cards with your name and your contacts and everything. Because, it only takes one person to look at it and say, hey, this is just what we need, or this is just who we're looking for, or I want to invest in this person, or whatever it may be. You want to create the best opportunity for yourself. So, I always go hard when it comes to promoting, you know what I'm saying, for myself. If you ain't going to invest in nothing else, at least invest in you and your own well-being and your own growth of your business.
Yes, we do have a logo, official logo for Serenity's Helping Hands designed by my beautiful mother. And we are working on getting business cards. We did have a set before with our old logo, and we're going to update them. And I'm very excited for that. And promoting is honestly one of the most important things in businesses today, especially having the online access to social media nowadays. It makes it so much easier to get out to get a bigger audience and expand all the community that you have.
Mm-hmm. So I know July 7th, I'm going to be having the El Nino Podcast Summer Bash at 1211 Trumbull at the DHDC. Can't wait. It's going to be live. I got a long list of performers that are going to kill it, a diverse lineup of performers. I can't wait. Looking forward. Got so many dope local vendors. I mean, everybody who's doing their thing, from shoes to clothes to food to, whatever, candles, everything. We got it. I invited your mother to be able to come. So I hope you guys be able to make that, because I know the next day you guys got an event, right? You guys go out of town. July 7th is the event, and July 8th you're going to be on a plane headed out.
Yep, that's when we head to New York for studying Camp Broadway. Me and my brother have both been accepted, and they're paying to fly us out. So that was great.
No, that's sweet. You see how you getting blessed with these opportunities? That's great. And then your mom been grinding, your mom grind to be able to create them opportunities for you, and always promote your name, promote your work. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really dope. Recently, she posted a picture. You had this extra long royal blue dress. What was that shootout about? A shootout, photo shoot. What was that shootout about?
Well, that photo shoot was for when I was in Orlando. I worked with a photographer named Tessa and a company called My Fly Dress. And the owner of My Fly Dress gets these beautiful gowns, and she rents them out in downtown Orlando, if you guys ever want to get any. And they're so pretty, and they're so long, and they went down a whole staircase and everything.
Yes, I was going to say that.
And I've never felt like more magical than when I was waving it. It was, when the air grasped it, you could tell it was like a magical photo. It was perfect. It was perfect.
Wow. No, that looked really elegant, and I was like, she's at the top of the stairs and the dress goes all the way down the whole flight of stairs. I was like, wow. I was like, how did she move around in that thing,
Well, it actually wasn't that heavy, to be honest. It wasn't heavy at all. It was actually lighter than most of the ball gowns I wear, because when you grab the fabric, it just like bundled up right into your arms, and you could just roll it to the side. But when it's like the ball gowns, you got the whole thing all around you. There's no way to escape it.
That's what I was going to ask you. Like, do you carry that stuff, or do you just walk and drag it?
Well, it depends. For that one, I did have to carry it because it was so long it would have gotten snatched on something. But for certain dresses, I could just lift the bottom of it. And some, I don't even have to lift it. If it's just like ankle-wise, I don't have to lift it at all. Makes it easier.
No, that's a lot of work. Just trying to figure out, strategies on how to do things. And then sometimes you'll see somebody do it a different way than what you're used to. And you're like, hey, that looked like a good idea,
Photo shoots are a whole workout. They're always, by the end of it, you're going to be tired and you're going to need a water and a break. But yeah, you're going to do a lot of lifting, a lot of walking, sometimes running, and that's a whole workout in itself.
Yeah, even for photographers, like just catching the right angles, dealing with the sun, whether it's light or dark, and shadows. And
the cameras are super heavy too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they look like a 10 pounds.
Yeah, for real. So, that's a craft in its own. Would you ever consider maybe doing photography?
Well, I think I have some talents, but photography is not going to be one of them.
That ain't it, huh? That ain't going to be one of them?
No, because personally, I like to be in front of the camera. Behind the camera, I look at their settings and I'm like, do I click this one? Is this how I make it go? is there flash on this?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
They have like ISO and brightness, white balance, aperture, and I'm like, I know the words, but I don't know what they mean.
Yeah, I
Don't
bet.
know how they happen.
It's not like just taking a selfie with a phone or with a regular Polaroid. Like, there's adjustments and, different
Angles,
all
lenses.
All that stuff. Lenses.
Yeah, they got like wide angle lenses.
Yeah,
So
to shoot
it's a lot.
far, to shoot close, and it's like, you know what, man. And I'm pretty photogenic. I always have been, Even when I was in prison, I used to be a photo man in the visiting room, and I mean, you couldn't tell me shit. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was top dog photographer of the world. You know what I mean? But it was cool though. It allowed me freedom, from being inside to be able to go in a visiting room and take people's pictures. But that's as far as my career in taking pictures as went. You know what I mean?
Ever since I was little, I was in front of the camera. You would see, my mom has pictures of when I was like in 3rd grade, and my sister's like in the back, like smiling, and I'm like this. Like all out for no reason.
You were voguing
for no
already.
reason. And then I would like, one time my mom was like, just like, she was doing something, and I just took her phone. I'm like, Mom, I'm taking photos. And she's like, what? And you see me in the camera like,
You were already
and I was
mastering
like
the
5,
selfie.
and I was already like, I'm getting my photos in now. I've always had the dresses. I've always had like the photos like that. And my mom used to always take them too, but I would always be front and center because it was like, I was the youngest girl because there was only 2 girls, me and my older sister, and I was the younger one. And I was the 5th out of 6. So automatically I'm going to be more babied.
Oh,
and
yeah,
so
definitely.
that led to it being like, I'm the center right here.
So is the goal to like get signed by a modeling agency, or is this something that you want to pursue independently? So with Serenity's Helping Hands, that's just your own personal nonprofit organization. But when you have yourself and you're promoting yourself as a model, is the goal to be signed by somebody, or is it to make it independently?
Okay, well, I'm going to say for my goal would be to get in the meetings with these people by myself personally and have my mom be like my manager, as that's kind of how it's working out right now. But the reason why I don't really want to get signed too quickly is because if I do get signed, Serenity's Helping Hands will no longer be in my hands. So it would be followed into their company, and I'd have to sign away the rights to it. And personally, that's like my baby right now. I can't do that. So right now I'm going to pursue this independently until I find someone with a contract that works for me, like works with what I want to do, or until I myself could get into the rooms.
The Starburst tastes amazing. I'm sorry.
I know, they're good.
I love them.
Got Reese's.
I'll open up a pack, won't stop being able to eat them. But I'm trying to understand something. Why in the world would you have to sign over the rights to your nonprofit organization?
Well, Serenity's Helping Hands, I am the owner, but I'm also the face of it. If I were to work for like an agent or a company themselves, they would have to market my company, and they would have to be the ones to control what it does, so then they make sure that it follows under the guidelines that they would like. That was also one of the reasons I could not advance in the Miss Teen Michigan pageant, as corporate sponsors and having a corporation of my own, it makes it harder for them to be able to control the contracts and the confines of the business itself and what I do. They would not have they would have control over what I would do, but they would also have to control what the business is, and so I don't want that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's what that photo shoot was about when it was me, you, and Trick was about that Miss Teen Detroit, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And then they told you that you didn't qualify because of some...
Well, they didn't tell us exactly. They sent us a contract a week before, and we spent months making this dress. But like a week before, we got a contract, and in it, it said that no, I could not advance if I had any corporate endorsements, or if I was the face of anything, if I worked with modeling, acting, and I could not take up any voice jobs. So like none of my image could be used for something else other than what they needed it.
Man, they got all kinds of restrictions. And
I get what they
do you
I
see
get
their
why.
purpose in it?
Yes, because if they didn't have it, then they wouldn't know what I would be doing. They wouldn't be able to control what their face would be doing. Like, I could do like something like scandalous, and then that would be on their hands. Or I could do
Okay.
like something scandalous with the company, with a separate company. Or I could have a contract with another company, as I do with the Tigers, and then they would have to be written into that contract, and they would have to work with that company themselves. But since they are not a part of that company, it makes it harder for them to work with them.
Oh, okay. Have you got to meet any of the Detroit Tiger players?
Yes and no. Not because they've had them meet me, but because I've met a few of them, just like by walking and meeting the ball boy a few times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, because I already know I've been, I think, to a Pistons game and a Tigers game because of you guys. And I'm like, always like, Serenity's helping hands. You took care of us, looked out for us. You know what I'm saying? And, I could just, I know your mother had mentioned something about you guys doing something with the kid, like 50, 60 kids that you guys had worked with.
Well, we've worked with, I think it was 250 children that we provided backpacks and hygiene kits for on the Detroit Princess Boat last year. And this year we're hosting our second annual Princess Boat. We have yet to get the date confirmed, but we have already officiated it or started with planning it out.
So you got the Detroit Princess in line with you. They letting you rock the boat
The whole thing.
and have an event to give back to the kids for what, back to school?
Yes, for back to school, they're going to let us. What we did last year is a fashion show. We're doing a fashion show? Maybe. We're going to do a fashion show, maybe.
So you did a fashion show inside the Detroit Princess?
Yes, it was the first fashion show on the Detroit River. And
Wow, that's
it
dope.
was while the lunch cruise was happening. And it was very fun, very, very fun. Especially when it started rocking and some of the girls started falling over. That was fun. But it was cool, and all the kids were happy, dancing. Some of them got to model themselves, and then they got to watch the fashion show, and they all loved it. There were princesses on board. What more can you ask for?
Yeah, I know, man. That's so cool, man. And just making all them connections and then all the lives, because those are things that they ain't never going to forget. And then, even though people are from Detroit and all that, like everybody doesn't take advantage of the, things that they're surrounded with. Some people may not never jump on the Detroit Princess, but not only that, you're showing them a good time and you're providing them with school supplies. How are you getting the school supplies? You're getting it donated from, different places, and how does the sales pitch go? Like, how do you ask for help?
Well, I've been working with photographers. Whoever I would model for, I would request a donation of school supplies. And for some of the models that would work in some of the fashion shows, would ask for a donation of school supplies to fill up the backpacks. And this year, we've already got some of our donations pouring in with pencils, sharpeners, glue sticks, crayons. All of those are covered, which I'm very happy.
Oh, that's dope.
But last year, we were able to get it from people all throughout the community. Would say, if you want to model for us, give us $25 worth of school supplies, and we'll give you access to the boat when you could come on during it. But you could also take photos with us. You could be either a photographer or a model, and those modeling opportunities would also be like things like cosplay. So it's like unique opportunities.
Okay. No, that's really dope. That's pretty much an exchange, and that's building, that's networking, and that's dope. You get it done, and you help a lot of people because there's a lot of families that are in need. You got families with multiple children, and they all require, school supplies, clothes, shoes, and sometimes you just don't have it. Especially now, man. The expensive living is so high. It's like people who usually don't have money right now because it's just tough times. But what's good is just to see people motivated and walking in their own purpose and still being able to be creative and find ways, to make money, But
it does truly give a lot of opportunities to those that are in need of school supplies, but also those children that are in need of confidence bolstering, especially because the hygiene kits really, I was one of the children that needed a hygiene kit back then when I was in like elementary school. And if I were able to have someone do that for me back then, I would have appreciated it so much. And I'm happy to be able to give these kids something I wasn't able to get.
Yeah, no, that's dope. And a lot of what you do comes from your own personal experiences. You know, sometimes you become, you know, the person that you needed then, you know, or you become the person that you want to be, or just from life experiences or seeing other people go through things. You're like, you know what? When I grow up, or when I have the ability to be able to share, break bread, or do for those, you know, who don't have, you know what I mean? You know, it's an accomplishment, and it makes, you know, your life so much more purposeful, you know? So, how do things work out with you? So you said you're taking your brother with you. Does he do modeling too, or is he just going as part of your support system?
My brother does not do modeling, but me and him have been practicing singing together. We've been practicing our acting together, and hopefully me and him are both on Broadway one day. That would be amazing if we're on stage together.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You can be modeling and singing at the same time.
Yeah, both of them intertwine into each other. If I were to be an actress, I would need headshots. So there we go. There's modeling. If I want to be a model, I need to learn how to act in my face. There we go. Acting.
What kind of music do you guys like to sing?
Well, we do really like the ballads, to be honest, because I like being able to exercise my voice and not just being able to be like, pop songs, I like them, but when I'm able to like do like a really hard verse that like takes actual like trained professionals really hard to do, and I could do it, it makes it like, yes, I've done it. I could sing the hard notes, and that's like, well, it makes it happy. It makes it funner when you could do like the hard things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, absolutely. Listen, we're at the end of this show. It's definitely been a privilege having you. I love your spirit. I love your energy. I love your creativity. If you could give a message to the kids right now, you know what I'm saying, with everything that's going on, what message would you like to give to the youth today?
No matter what, there's always going to be another opportunity. Even if it seems like one door closes, a window's going to open. Something good is always going to come, even after you feel like nothing's good's going to go out of it. You will always keep going. You will always keep stepping up. You'll always keep moving forward. That's
right. Don't give up on yourself. Always bet on yourself, and always invest in yourself, for sure. I appreciate everybody who tuned in, you know, everybody who shares, subscribe. I love y'all. Appreciate you guys. Please, every chance you get, tell your uncle, your aunt, your cousin, your neighbor, you know, go to YouTube, El Nino Podcast, hit that subscribe button for me. June 7th. Man, my bad. July 7th from 6 to 11, 1211 Trumbull. The El Nino Podcast Summer Bash is going to be dope. Do not miss it. Shout out to my man, Troy Galentine out there in Flint. My man, my Flintstone brother. What's up? I appreciate your sponsorship. Also, big shout out to John Metallic. I appreciate you, brother, for your sponsorship as well. And as always, to my brother Marty and the Family for Life Promotions for always coming through for me, man, helping me out. I really appreciate you guys. Salute to everybody, man. Everybody taking care of their business, on the grind, and just trying to live the best life they can, man. Love y'all. Be safe, and I'll see you guys next Monday. Much love. Huh? Oh, and definitely go to Tubi right now and check out Undying Love. You're going to see my man Diesel up in there. I believe my man Dominic was in it as well. Go check it out on Tubi and give it a play.